What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about Palantir. I want to go over some of the data points, what's been coming out from the company itself, and where it might be heading next. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Palantir is up 1.82%. It did have a new 52-week high of $125. It was brief, so the chart's not really showing it, but it did hit $125. So again, very impressive stuff. For those of you that have been following my Palantir videos, the writing's been on the wall that it was going to be hitting that. That was going to be a key kind of pivot for Palantir, at least longer term for swing trade. And so you can kind of see, just based on my videos, on February the 7th, I said that $125 was going to be hit. And even aside from that though, looking at December, so December the 13th, I signaled that $95 was coming, and that was well above all of the analyst ratings at the time. So this is why, again, I like to look at a lot of the data. It doesn't BS you or anything like that. But as of today, or even lately, there hasn't been all that much in news. So February the 6th was just a pretty good award, but aside from that, nothing really crazy. The last big catalyst was their earnings, which did come out on the 3rd. Aside from that though, quickly popping over here, you have had not all that much in ratings. So last one was done 13 days ago, $80 price target, Goldman Sachs, analyst who has a 62% success rating. Aside from that, you did have the, I guess at the time, highest rating, so $125. Daniel Ives, I saw an article saying that he feels that it's going to go higher, but I don't think he's actually given a official re-rating, so he only gave $120. But still, you can kind of see post earnings, analysts are still torn on what Palantir should be truly at. So some are saying 60, some are saying 125. What's your general thoughts on that? Today, shorts are kind of returning a small amount, so 86,000 shares. 3.4% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 71.7 million shares overall are being shorted. Obviously, Palantir is not a squeeze play, but I like to analyze this type of information because it does signal what the counterparties are kind of feeling for the most part. So if they're starting to double down, it could be because of macro events or just Palantir's evaluation. And today, and even more so this whole week, there's not a lot in data points that could move the market. So tomorrow you do have permits and starts as well as FOMC minutes, but over the last couple of occurrences that hasn't really moved the market all that much. And then on Friday you have existing home sales. So Palantir is just following the technicals, and the technicals at the time, like I said, were signaling $125 was going to be hit. Going over options. So market's been open roughly 1 hour, so take that into consideration, but 189 million in calls already, 50 million in puts. 47% of all the options being done are optimistic in nature, and even looking over the last several days. So Friday there was 448 million in total premiums, 289 the day prior. Looking at the put/call ratio, definitely signaling that there is a lot more upside anticipated of the call options that are being purchased right now. There seems to be a consensus for it to be roughly around that 135 to 140 range, and conveniently that's what the Elliott Wave technicals are projecting. So I'm going to go over that in a second. Bears, on the flip side, they are anticipating for it to be roughly around that 110 to 113 range. So they are definitely anticipating a kind of a broader pullback. And most likely, again, that is possibly linked to the technicals. So I'll go over that in a second. But these are all the transactions that are occurring so far in the secondary market above $100,000. So a lot of buying. Palantir's a beast, like in general. Even if you are bearish on Palantir and you feel it's just overvalued, very few people actually have the balls to, sorry if you're female or anything, but have the balls to actually short it. It is one of those stocks that you are absolutely insane. And I'm one of those insane people, as I have done videos over the last year and a half on and off for Palantir. I've even stated that early on, when it was roughly kind of sub 30, I made more money shorting Palantir than long. I'm just very good at clearly reading the data and finding a trend. I haven't definitely shorted it since then because I'm not stupid. Well, maybe I am, but not that stupid, because yeah, to bet against Palantir is absolutely insane. But aside from that, with it at 121 and change, it is trading between this R2 and this R1. So $120 is going to be that next strong support that you'll really want to watch for that to hold. So that's ultimately kind of the low for today on a side note. And then $123 and then $128 are going to be the next strong target / resistance points. So let me know your viewpoint on that. Elliott Wave technicals, I'll go over that and give you an overview of what that is projecting. And so right now it does have a pivot point of $106. So for as long as it is above that, then it is anticipated to get between that 132 and 139 range. And conveniently, that's exactly what the bulls are forecasting. Usually Elliott Wave technicals are good for roughly about 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, and unfortunately options activity, they're wanting it to happen this week. So definitely patience is thin, but then again, Palantir has proven in the past that it can go up very, very fast based on just a little bit of buying. So let me know your viewpoint on that. On the actual chart itself, it is above all the key pivotal moving averages. Only negative thing I do want to bring up about this in the short term is the fact that it is rather overbought. So this is why you could see a lot of volatility, such as what is happening so far today. You have 125 hit and then it pulls back to roughly around 121 so far. So you're going to have a lot of volatility again because it is rather overbought. But some stocks can stay in an overbought status for extended periods of time, and nothing really wrong with that. So in my opinion, I do feel like there is still a lot more upside, but as we kind of near higher levels, like roughly 125-ish, you're going to see a lot more of these crazy volatile days. So if you're a day trader, definitely it's going to be good for you, but I feel like there still is going to be a nice continued run to roughly around that 135 at this stage in the game. So let me know your viewpoint on Palantir. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What have you been doing with Palantir? On a side note, if you do want all of this information to be completely free, so analyst ratings, forecasts, ownership, Elliott Wave technicals, short information, take a look at IBKR, link in the description below and also the comments, like I said, for all of it to be completely free. And then one thing I do want to bring up actually while it's here, based on all the 13 Fs that have come in, institutions did increase their position by 25.43% between Q3 and Q4. So I absolutely love to see any institutions getting in. Adds a whole different level of stability and kind of avoids manipulation in reality. So let me know your thoughts on Palantir. Are you a buyer? Are you a seller? What's your general thoughts? And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you are looking for good buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.